Thank you. Similar, there's bipartisan concern
Exactly.
about the electronic health record
Rightfully
modernization.
so.
You mentioned Michigan. We are set April 1st to be the next state. And I'm going to take you up on this offer that you just made to have Dr. Lawrence come and brief our bipartisan congressional delegation, because I think from both Democrats and Republicans in my state, we are concerned that we have a little bit of a perfect storm. One, you decided to triple the number of locations that are going to go through modernization this year. So we feel like in Michigan, maybe we won't get the attention, that we need. And you're right, Washington was a disaster. Number two, we have over 1,000 vacancies right now at our 4 VA hospitals. Some of them say they're having trouble getting waivers to hire people to help with this. We need to speed that up. And then number three, we haven't seen you guys fully implement all of the VA's IG's recommendations. If I'm wrong about any of that, please just agree to have Dr. Lawrence come and brief our bipartisan delegation. That's all I want is permission to do that.
Senator,
I want to talk about other things. So if you're willing to have him come down, just tell me so, and we'll pepper him with questions.
Okay. Set the date.
Great. We will set the date sometime before April 1st.
Also, can I do say one thing? I'll make it quick, I promise. OIG reports and recommendations were based on a screwed up, backwards system that is not in place anymore. So anything that's referenced to the OIG report, in all fairness, is like looking at a 1945 novel and not describing
That's fine. I just want us to have Democrats and Republicans from Michigan be able to ask questions to the guy who owns the transfer, okay? Now, I want to turn to the topic my colleagues have been talking about, which is Alex Pretti, your employee, the ICU nurse who was killed over the weekend by Border Patrol. You said in your opening statement that you weren't able to engage on this topic, but you did engage on this topic. It took you 30 hours to put something out on Twitter about his death. First, you put out something with penguins in Greenland, but then you put out a statement that said, quote, "Such tragedies are unfortunately happening in Minnesota because state and local officials' refusal to cooperate with the federal government to enforce the law and deport dangerous illegal criminals." Was Alex Pretti's death the result of the mayor of Minneapolis or the governor of Minnesota?
Alex Pretti's death was a tragedy, as I've stated, and I will continue to stand by that statement.
Okay, but you put it out under official VA Twitter, right? This wasn't like your personal opinion. You weighed in and said why he died. And let me just ask, right? He was your employee. You know that people who work for the VA can't just walk in. They're vetted. They're properly vetted. We had other cabinet officials call him a domestic terrorist and an assassin based on your access to the information you have in the VA and in front of 460,000 VA employees. Was this man, in your estimation, a domestic terrorist or an assassin?
What I have said about this as being a tragedy, I will continue to say, and I'm not going to make a characterization on something someone else said.
It's not. You said that it was the result of local officials blocking their access. You said it. It's not someone else. So if you can't say
I made no characterization about Mr. Pretti.
You said that his death was the result of, quote, state and local officials' refusal to cooperate with the federal government. Not my words, yours. So you are prejudicing this investigation. You are weighing in on what you think happened. And I just think in front of the employees who have been through a lot this year, that you should at least be able to say to his family that he's not a domestic terrorist or an assassin. Right? People have eyes. They see the video there. And I think we owe him more than that. But to say that you can't engage on it, to say that now that Donald Trump has told the cabinet that now it's okay to have an independent investigation, and all, Secretary Noem and Stephen Miller have to walk back what they've said about this poor man in front of his family. Now I think you can admit that you joined them in prejudicing the investigation of your own employee. And now, can I ask, I understand there was some sort of memorial event yesterday that was held at the VA in Minnesota. Can you say clearly that neither you nor your senior officials tried to stop that memorial from happening?
We did not.
Okay, because there's an email circulating online right now that says that they were told not to have the memorial and the people went ahead anyways. So I hope that when this email comes out, there's not any of you sitting at this table who had anything to do with the fact that they wouldn't be able to celebrate the life of a man who was killed. Can you speak to that?
I can. I've seen the email. That email did not originate from my office or anybody sitting at this table's office. That came from a leadership official in Minneapolis.
And so he just woke up, the man who, or man or woman, I don't know, who employed this man, who's dealing with all kinds of fallout and, terrible feeling when people lose that person just woke up and just decided to say that someone else, the higher ups, told her not to have this memorial. She just made that up?
I don't know that she made it up, but I can't tell you what her perception of anything was. But what I can say is that we have been supportive in an appropriate time to be able to have a period for their employees to memorialize Alex Pretti. And they did that yesterday with almost 400 people.
Well, I hope
at noon, which was scheduled.
You see how it takes a suspension of disbelief to believe that the woman who is the supervisor of this poor man said that higher ups told her that she couldn't have a memorial. It seems a little hard to believe, but I yield my time. I'm done.
Senator Banks.